People always say heartbreak is like a storm, violent, unpredictable, tearing through your soul without warning. But mine wasn't a storm. It was a silence. A heavy, breathless stillness that fell the day my husband looked me in the eye and said he didn't love me anymore. He stood in our kitchen holding a mug I had bought him on our anniversary and told me that he was leaving. For someone else, for my cousin Claire. He said it as if it were logical, almost reasonable. As if he'd done me a favor by being honest. But honesty isn't noble when it's soaked in betrayal. Claire, my cousin. My sister in all but blood. We grew up braiding each other's hair, sharing secrets, laughing under the covers at sleepovers. I let her into every corner of my life. She met David through me. She came to our home, sat at our table, toasted our anniversary. And all the while she was circling like a vulture, smiling sweetly while devouring my marriage from the inside. When David left, I didn't cry. Not at first. I cleaned the kitchen, folded his clothes, stared at the empty space where his shoes used to be. My pain wasn't loud. It was methodical. They didn't even try to hide it. 2 weeks after he left, I saw them, hand in hand, at the same cafe David and I used to go to on Sundays. Claire waved. As if we were old friends catching up. That's when I knew this wasn't just betrayal. It was mockery. A challenge. Claire wanted me to see her win. She wanted me to lose gracefully. To stay silent. But she forgot one thing. I am not the woman you betray and walk away from. I am the storm after the silence. They set the date for the wedding 6 months later. A quiet ceremony, they said. Close friends and family only. I wasn't invited, of course. But I heard everything through the grapevine. Small vineyard venue. White roses. A bohemian theme. Claire in a lace gown that I'd helped her pick out years ago, before any of this. Before she took what was mine. The rage that had once felt cold and bitter was now something else. It didn't consume me, it focused me. This wasn't about getting him back. It was about making sure they never forgot what they had done. Not even on their wedding day. I planned it carefully. No messy confrontation. No social media drama. That's what they would expect from the jealous ex. But I would give them something they'd never forget. Something elegant. Devastating. And poetic. I started with the invitations. A friend who worked at the print shop owed me a favor. I got a copy of the guest list and replaced a few of the names with ones they'd recognize. David's high school ex who once accused him of cheating. Claire's old boss. The one she slept with while he was married. Subtle, silent bombs. Then came the cake. I didn't need to poison it or anything childish like that. No, I contacted the bakery and offered to upgrade the order anonymously. I paid for it, of course. The new cake design? 3 tiers, classic white. Decorated in delicate calligraphy with their lies. Each layer had words etched into the icing. Adultery. Betray a family. They wouldn't see it until the reception. But by then it would be too late. Guests would whisper. Pictures would be taken. And no amount of champagne would wash it away. The piece de resistance, though, was the speech. They had asked Claire's best friend to say a few words. I hacked her email. Rewrote the speech subtly so it would pass. It began with a tribute to Claire's honesty, her fearless heart, and then drifted into the story of how she never let family get in the way of what she wanted. The punchline, a joke about how she always said, "If you want something, take it, even if it belongs to someone else." The friend read it aloud without blinking, oblivious. But the room noticed. The morning of the wedding, I sent Claire a gift wrapped in silk. No name inside, a framed photo. Me and David on our honeymoon, her favorite photo of us. The one she once called, "True Love in a Picture." I had it reprinted in black and white with one line engraved in the frame. Borrowed things must be returned eventually. No threat, no accusation. Just truth delivered like a knife made of velvet. I didn't attend the ceremony. I didn't need to. But I watched it all unfold. My friend live-streamed parts of it on her phone from the back row. I saw David's expression change as the speech went off script. I saw Claire's smile falter as the cake was wheeled in, whispers blooming around her like wildfire. I saw her clutch the framed photo in the bridal suite, hands trembling. And I smiled. Not because I ruined her day, but because I had made sure it was never truly hers. You see, weddings are supposed to be about love. About vows. About the promise of forever. But theirs began with theft. With deception. With betrayal. And no matter how many roses they scattered down the aisle, no matter how many candles they lit, the truth would always flicker behind it all. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to cry. I just needed them to know. Some debts are never forgiven. Some wounds don't close. After the wedding, silence followed. No calls. No confrontation. Just silence. And that, to me, was the loudest sound in the world. I imagined them returning from their special day, replaying each moment, wondering who had done it. I imagined David staring at Claire, a flicker of doubt blooming in his chest. If she could betray her own family, what might she do to him? I imagined Claire wondering how far I was willing to go. The truth, I hadn't even started. What they didn't understand is that betrayal isn't just something you do to someone. It's something you awaken in them. And once awakened, it doesn't sleep. In the weeks that followed, I became a ghost in their lives. A shadow they couldn't name but felt. The florist who delivered wilting lilies to their home every Friday with no return address. The whispers that spread through their circle about Claire's reputation at her last job. The anonymous tip that led to an internal investigation at David's company. I never lied. I never needed to. The truth, when timed right, is more venomous than any fiction. I didn't want revenge. I wanted erosion. The kind that wears people down until they forget who they used to be. But even ghosts have rules. One day I saw Claire outside a cafe alone. She looked tired. The glow was gone. She glanced over her shoulder, often, eyes twitching. Her dress was wrinkled, her smile forced. I didn't speak to her. I didn't need to. Just being there was enough. I walked past her slowly. She saw me. Our eyes locked. And in that moment, I didn't see the confident, smug cousin who had stolen my husband. I saw a woman who was beginning to realize that some battles don't end with a ring. Some battles begin with one. David tried to call me once. Just once. A private number. I answered and listened to his breathing, calm, uneven. I could feel the weight of everything he wanted to say but didn't. I hung up. I didn't want apologies. I didn't want explanations. I wanted him to sit with the silence he had given me. That's the thing about guilt. It grows best in quiet places. Months passed. And then, like all bad stories, theirs began to unravel. Claire quit her job. David started drinking more. My Aunt Claire's mother called me, awkward and stiff, trying to reconnect. She didn't mention the wedding. Neither did I. But her voice cracked when she said Claire had changed. That she was harder now. That she doesn't sleep. I almost felt pity. But I remembered the sound Claire made when she laughed at my pain. How she looked at David like he was a prize she won. And I felt nothing but the satisfaction of knowing that her victory was already turning to ash. Then came the final act. Claire sent me a letter. He said she was sorry. That she never meant to hurt me. That she didn't know how deep it would cut. That David wasn't who she thought he was. That the wedding felt haunted. Her words, not mine. She said she dreamed of me sometimes. That in the dream I was always calm, always watching. She asked if I could forgive her. If we could meet. I folded the letter and placed it in a drawer. I never replied. Some letters are written not for redemption but for survival. And I wasn't interested in saving her. I took a trip after that, alone somewhere quiet. A place with sea air and long, silent mornings. I didn't go to escape. I went to remember who I was before the fire. Before the betrayal. The truth is, what they did to me didn't break me. It revealed me. It pulled back the curtain on a part of myself I had ignored for too long. The part that sees clearly. The part that doesn't wait for justice but becomes it. People always think the worst pain is in the moment of betrayal. But it's not. The worst pain comes in the days after, when you realize the world keeps turning and no one is coming to make it right for you. You have to choose, become smaller or become sharper. I chose the latter. And in doing so, I discovered that vengeance isn't loud. It's not a scream or a scene. It's a smile at the right moment. A silence when they expect rage. A shadow that lingers just long enough to remind them. You are never safe from memory. David and Claire are still together. Technically. But everyone can see it, they're not in love. They're in survival. Bound not by passion but by the fear of collapsing. I hear things. Claire is in therapy. David changed jobs. They moved to another city, hoping distance would heal what guilt had infected. But you can't outrun a story that started with a knife. They live inside the consequence now. Every anniversary is a reminder. Every argument is an echo of what they did. They are their own punishment. And I'm free. I never rebuilt what I had with David. I didn't want to. That life is a ruin I no longer need to live in. Instead I built something new. A life without Claire's shadow, without David's doubt. A life where I know my worth. Not because someone gives it to me but because I reclaimed it. People ask me if I'm bitter. If I regret what I did. But how can I regret survival? How can I regret teaching someone that some lines once crossed leave scars they cannot see but will always feel?